Good morning, students. Myself, Dr. Vijayendra Singh Tawar, Associate Professor in English. Presently, I have been posted at Government College, Guda. In the series of video lectures which I am preparing, this video is meant for students of class BA Part 3rd, subject English Literature, paper 2nd. And in this video, the topic which has been chosen has been entitled A Kitchen in the Corner of the House. It is a story written by a famous feminist writer from Tamil Nadu, Ambai. Ambai is the pseudonym, that is pen name. She writes under the pen name Ambai. Actually, her name is C.S. Lakshmi. She is from Tamil Nadu. She was born in 1944 in Tamil Nadu. She is a distinguished fiction writer in Tamil. Means she uses Tamil as a medium of expression. She writes in Tamil language, you can say. Her works are characterized by her passionate espousal, an act of adopting or supporting a cause, belief, or way of life. That is, she is a feminist writer and she tries to propagate an ideology of the cause of women, in which there is humor, a lucid and profound style, a touch of realism we can notice in her writings. She is one of the most important Tamil writers today, that she is alive. She is the only Tamil writer to have been included in the recently published Picador Book of Modern Indian Literature edited by Amit Chaudhary. Means she is so great a personality that she finds a place in one of the latest great list of great writers of the present century. Most of her stories are about relationship, particular relationship between family members, maybe husband, wife, brother-in-law, sister-in-law, friends, etc. They contain brilliant observations about contemporary life, exploration of space, silence, coming to terms with one's body or sexuality, and the importance of communication are some of the recurring themes in her work. Means she is a feminist writer. She writes from the point of view how much space has been given to women, whether women have any right or any influence outside home or within the boundary of home, what is their position, about the sexuality, whether they can express themselves or not. Means these are the themes which have been generally taken up by our writer in her works. Her story, entitled A Kitchen in the Corner of the House, which is in our syllabus in BA Part 3rd, appears to be a tale of a family settled in Ajmer. It was originally written in Tamil. As I have told you, she writes in Tamil language. It has been translated from Tamil into English by Lakshmi Holmstrom. At the surface level, the story seems to be full of gentle humor, affection, and concern. When examined deeply, it is found that it has a message which is relevant to the modern times. From times immemorial and from the ancient times, you can say, women have been oppressed in our patriarchal society. Women were not given equal rights. Always male decided what is right and what is wrong. Their whole world has been confined to household duties like cooking, embroidery, etc. Women were not given even space outside home. Even within the house, Their expertise were meant only for cooking and embroidery, etc. However, the savage critique of the patriarchal underpinning means set of ideas or patriarchal thoughts, ideology, does not impinge means does not have a noticeable effect on the consciousness unless close attention is paid to the ways in which each episode is structured and the ways in which the balance of power sways between and is manipulated by the many women in the tale. There are many female characters in this story and they have their own way of thinking what is right, how they are given freedom or what kind, to what extent they have been given freedom and what they did in the past, etc. etc. Every woman have its own story. But the protagonist or the main character in this story is Meenakshi. She is the narrator of the story also. She places herself on the margins of traditional household as an outsider to the patriarchal structure that approximates an exiled existence. She is not happy within the structure of patriarchy. In patriarchy, a female is given particular role and she is supposed not to go beyond that role. So Meenakshi is regarded herself as an outsider, as she is not fit in that role. This existence does not free her from cultural constraints, though she does not get all the instructions and follow patriarchal ideology, but in spite of her freedom, she is not completely free from cultural constraints thinking, but situates her in a post-critical position that enables women's self-representation. Situation fixes her, places her in that way that she must have her own identity. When Meenakshi identifies with her self-representation as a non-identical woman, the position of marginality in her case turns into a position of empowerment that ruptures sudden ending of good relationship between two people or group. Means her of the normative representation of heterogeneous individuals as homogeneous. That is, in the beginning she thought that she is different, but in the end she also realizes that she is also a woman like other. Yet the contours, that is the shape of outside surface, something, of Meenakshi's independence are different from that of Veena Mosi in the story, whose experiences as an independent single woman weaken her and eventually destroy her. Hence, in this story, we are told that absolute freedom is also not good for women. They must try to set and find their place, position within the structure of the society. For example, Veena Mosi, who was independent, but she could not establish herself as a great personality. Her plight, perhaps, is an indicator that female experiences of uninterrupted freedom, absolute freedom, cease to be constructive. If you are given absolute freedom, you will not get any benefit of it. When they are isolated from social systems and discourse, means if they want their position, they will have to live within the system. Veena's freedom fails to dismantle the patriarchal order, that is system, and envision the possibility of change in socially gendered relation. She could not bring about any change in the society. So it is not the freedom that only defies cultural dictates, that define women exclusively in relation to men, but also the freedom that attempts to transform existing gendered structure that MBI argues can truly help women to overcome internal and external oppression and reclaim the lost feminist spaces. Means absolute freedom is not the solution. It is the place, it is the ideas which should be given space and honor within the framework of society. Then only it can help you. Now the MY has used the kitchen in the center of the lives of women characters in the story. It has become the symbol of different ideas. There is an abundance of tropes to do with figurative language, to do with food, cooking, and eating in the story. MY, our writer, being a feminist writer, uses examples of food and cooking to highlight certain themes, frames and boundaries, order, control, and power relations within boundaries, and pleasures outside them. As a writer who grew up in Tamil Nadu but lives in Bombay, a recurrent theme is the quest for identity or sense of the self. That is, she was born in Tamil Nadu, she lives in modern city Bombay, but even her identity is not final. She is in search of her real position in the society. MY also sees food and cooking as ways of imposing control within the family and maintaining boundaries between communities. She questions the value of hospitality, which merely reflects that status and importance of better families. The story examines the mother-in-law's illusory authority in the kitchen, the establishment of hierarchy within it, and how that authority can be subverted through food wars. That there is a view or thinking that if you can cook the best food, you will rule in the family. And for this, there is a competition among the women of the family. But even the mother-in-law, who being the oldest or the maybe the expert of the past, her role, her hierarchy can be reverted, can be subverted. The writer has also focuses her attention on the traditional attitude of patriarchal preference about the selection of a bride for the family. It is natural, and we can notice this thing in any of the middle class family of India, that we prefer a girl for a bride who is beautiful, who knows, has the knowledge, latest knowledge. She is, you can say, well qualified, but most important, she should follow the patriarchal system. Here we are given some examples in this story. The family prefers to have educated, fair-skinned, and quiet daughter-in-law for the third son. That is why Meenakshi from South India is not liked by Papaji, as he says. See, that is Meenakshi. Never stops roaming the town. She always has a book in her hand, a chatterbox. She is a chatter. She is compared, or she is called a chatterbox, who always talks. Kusum is considered a perfect daughter-in-law. She is an MA in politics and has a diploma in French, well educated. She is an expert in embroidery, flower arrangement, bakery, sewing, and in making jam, juice, and pickles. Means well versed in household jobs. However, she is willing to suffer the injustice and work according to the dictates of the family. Means she is liked because she is ready to suffer injustice just to find her place which is given to her in the patriarchal society. She does not rebel, you can say. She does not revolt. That is why she is liked. But Meenakshi is not liked because it is fear that she can revolt. On the other hand, Meenakshi's sensible and practical suggestion to extend the veranda is not entertained. Means women were not given any kind of place in the patriarchal society, but sometimes their valuable and good suggestions are not entertained just because they are female. And the suggestion given by female must be bad. It must be nothing. This is the example of that ideology. Moreover, her suggestion is taken as an affront, means even it is an insult. Though her suggestion has been endorsed by her husband Kishan, it is outrightly rejected. Now, this is the ideology of the female. When Gigi suffers from a second asthma attack, she is confined to bed. Although she is almost asleep, yet she goes nostalgic. She remembers the past and narrates her life story to Meenakshi. She tells her that her father-in-law handed her the keys of the house at the time of his death. And she feels very happy that she was given the charge of the house by her father-in-law. She placed the keys into her silver waist hook and felt like a queen. So it was a kind of orientation for the women that if they have the key of the house, they are the queen. Gigi always believed that her strength and authority came from the bunch of keys, rich clothes, and costly ornaments. Means she was oriented in such a way that she never thought beyond these boundaries, that is, keys, clothes, and ornaments. Thus, the story by Mbai is an evocative comment on how it is only the role of the nurturer that gives a woman her identity and place in the household. This is in the patriarchal society. She can never quite rid herself and discover her relationship with the external world without all this baggage. Means she has to keep this baggage as her duty towards house, etc. all the time. She cannot, if she wants to go outside the house, she finds her place outside the house. She must keep in mind her duty as a woman in the house. As Meenakshi comments, if all this clutter had not filled up with your mind, then perhaps you too might have seen the apple fall. That is, she refers to Newton's theory. She might have become a scientist. The stream gathering at the kettle spout. She might have discovered, invented, might have discovered new continents, written a poem about Mount Kailash, might have painted upon the walls of caves, might have flown, might have made a world without wars, prisons, gallows, chemical warfare. She might have done all these things if she is outside the house thinking. What Meenakshi wants to say is that the mind of Gigi is filled with trivial things. She should sink deeper and reach the universal waters. Then she can connect herself with this world that surrounds her. Then the sparkle of jewelry will vanish away. She will feel free from discrimination on the basis of gender. She will realize her true identity and achieve her individuality. This is Mbai's message in the story, enunciated through Meenakshi. That is, through Meenakshi, our writer wants to convey a message. Message is women have been placed in the patriarchal society, and they have been oriented in such a way that they think this is the supreme achievement of theirs. If they have the key, they can cook, they can do various household jobs. They should not go beyond that. But Meenakshi wants to say that the writer or the women should think beyond that. They should go beyond the space which is allotted to them by the patriarchal society. Thank you very much.